Shanti.
Today we have to study about the producer equilibrium. See, we have already studied about production, then we studied about cost, then we studied about revenue. Right? You have to keep all these things in mind. Production is the total output which a producer is producing. The cost is the total amount of payments made to the factor of production, and revenue is what he is earning. Now we have to understand that how the producer can be in equilibrium. So we know the objective of the producer. If you are a firm, your objective to do this production was to earn profit. Like the consumer's objective to consume a commodity was to to satisfy a want. Here the objective is to earn the profit. And equilibrium, as we know, best possible means where it is maximum. No more chance of increasing the profit. That state for a producer is known as the producer's equilibrium. So if you have to define the producer's equilibrium, you can simply define it as it is a situation where a producer maximizes his profit. Okay, now we also have to understand two approaches behind producer's equilibrium, or two approaches to find the producer's equilibrium. First is the total revenue and total cost approach, and second is marginal revenue and marginal cost approach. Right, like as for the consumer equilibrium you have two approaches, cardinal and ordinal. Here also we have two approaches. First one, the TRTC approach. It is simply based on mathematical representation of profit, that profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. And it says that producer can maximize his profit when there is maximum positive difference between TR and TC. Difference between TR and TC means TR minus TC, that is profit. Maximum positive means it should be in plus, that is should not be loss, and when it is maximized. Actually it is a simple approach, a old approach. With the help of diagram also you can explain it. Here we take the unit sold on the output on the x-axis, total revenue and total cost on the y-axis. Suppose we talk about the perfect competition. This is the TR, upward sloping straight line, and this is the TC, say. Right, so you can see TC is inverse S-shaped because it first increases at diminishing rate and later increases at a increasing rate, and TR under perfect competition is a upward sloping straight line. Now there is this point where you can see the maximum difference between TR and TC, and another point lying here. Okay, but at this point TC is more than TR, or you can say this is a negative difference, or you can say it is a situation of loss. Actually, if you look at the graph, starting from this point up till this point, there is a loss for the producer. His cost is more than the revenue. This is his break-even point where TR is equal to TC, and this is the point from where his profit starts. So it means the maximum profit will be where there is the maximum difference between TR and TC, and TR should be more than TC. A simple approach. So whenever you are asked to do a particular question through this approach, you simply have to calculate the profit and see where it is maximum. That will be the producer's equilibrium. Then in more detail we have to study the marginal revenue and marginal cost approach, that is MRMC approach, which is more important and more likely to be in your exams. Okay, before moving on to this MRMC approach, we first should take a precaution that we should remember that profit is total revenue minus total cost, and not marginal revenue minus marginal cost. Right? Marginal revenue minus marginal cost will give you the profit only of the one unit, that particular unit. But TR minus TC will give you the total profit of the producer, and remember we have to maximize the total profit. So the first condition here for the equilibrium is MR should be equal to MC. we have two conditions here. First is MR is equal to MC, and second is slope of MR be less than the slope of MC. Or I can also say that after the equilibrium MC should be rising. Or I can also say that MC should cut MR from below. Okay, actually there is a objective of writing all these words. These all terms mean the same, right? You say slope of MR is less than slope of MC, or you say after equilibrium MC should be rising, or you say MC should cut MR from below. All mean the same. Okay, we will study in detail about this condition, but you should always remember that how it can be asked from you. All mean the same. First we will talk about the first condition, that is MR is equal to MC. Just to remind you, you know MR is the revenue which you get from 1 unit and MC is the cost which you incur on 1 unit, right? Now suppose we can first talk about it numerically. Later we will talk about the explanation of these. Suppose a profit of a producer was say 1000 when he was producing 100 units, right? He wants to produce the 101st unit, for which the marginal cost which he has to incur is 5 and the marginal revenue which he is incurring is 7, which he will be able to earn is 7. So you can simply understand, in this condition MR is greater than MC, right? Similarly, one more situation is possible when MR is less than MC. Remember the method of elimination, the same method we are using. If we want to prove that MR should be equal to MC, we prove that MR greater than MC and MR less than MC cannot be the equilibrium. So now coming back to our this example. Now suppose he produces the 101st unit. His profit on this particular unit is rupees 2 positive, right? So it means that his total profit would be 1002. It means that when he was earning a profit of 1000, he was not in his equilibrium. Why not in equilibrium? Because the profit was not maximum. There was a chance of increasing the profit by making this particular unit. So simply we can prove that if any unit is, for any unit MR is more than MC, all such units will increase the profit of the producer. So stopping at any of this unit will not let the producer reach his equilibrium, means he will not be able to earn the maximum profit which he could have earned. So when you are asked to explain this, you have to mention all these are the keywords what you have to mention, that for all these units the total profit can be increased because all such units are giving the profit to the producer, and if he stops for any such unit, he is not maximizing his profit, so he cannot be in equilibrium. So this first condition is eliminated. Then when we talk about the second condition, now say let the marginal cost is the same, all things remain the same, but now the marginal revenue is say 4 rupees, right? So now if he produces this unit, he will incur a loss of 1 rupee on it. Okay, he will spend 5 rupees in making the unit and he will get only 4 rupees by selling it. So it means the profit which was 1000 when he was making 100 units, it will drop down to 999. So it means if for a particular unit MR is less than MC, all such units will decrease the profit of the producer. So they lead to decline in the total profit of the producer. So again the producer cannot be in equilibrium because profit will not be maximum. So this condition is very often asked in the exams. It can be asked in the direct manner also, explain the condition of producer equilibrium or explain why it is necessary for the producer to be in equilibrium, to be at a point where MR and MC are equal. Or you can say why is the equality between MR and MC required to establish the producer equilibrium? All would have the same answer. Now we come to the second condition, that is MC should be rising after the point of equilibrium. MC should be rising. To understand this particular condition, we can take help of a diagram. Output on the x-axis and marginal revenue and marginal cost on the y-axis. We already know, suppose we take the perfect competition, so MR is a horizontal straight line and marginal cost is a U-shaped curve, right? So you can simply see that there are 2 points where MR and MC are equal. But first look at this point. This is the point where the cost incurred on the commodity is more than the revenue. So it means at every such point there is a loss for the producer, right? Similarly here also there is a loss for the producer, because here his marginal cost is more than the marginal revenue, and same here. But as soon as you start a business, your marginal cost would fall, right, and revenue remains the constant. So you reach a point where you are in a no loss, no profit situation. But from this point, you start earning the profit. Okay, this will be the point from where you earn the profit, or from where the producer starts earning the profit. Now to maximize the profit, he has to reach till this condition. This cannot be equilibrium because he has not even earned 1 rupee till this point, right? Profit starts from here. Another point where MR is equal to MC. But here he has earned the whole lot of profit. The whole part has been completed, and now again what will start? Loss will start, or you can say again MR will become less than. Okay, so we can simply see that there are 2 points A and B where MR and MC are equal, but the equilibrium is established only when MC starts rising, right? So for explaining this condition, again you need the diagram. You have to draw the diagram if this particular condition is asked, and you have to explain the whole thing, that the producer earns the profit from after point A, and for maximizing the profit he has to reach till point B, because after point B again the loss starts, right? Now for asking this question, it can be directly asked that why MC should be rising, or it can also be asked in a manner that for the producer to be in equilibrium, why should the MC be rising? Then a producer cannot be in equilibrium when MC is falling. Again the same answer. Okay, you simply have to again prove that MC should be rising, and it is mandatory to draw the diagram. Then the MRMC approach or the TRTC approach can also be numerically asked, right? If you are asked from to find the producer equilibrium through the TRTC approach, that means in that case TR will be given to you. TC will be given. From TR you subtract the TC for all the levels. For all the levels, whatever levels are given to you, you subtract it. Wherever you get the maximum value, that will be your point of equilibrium, right? Simple to calculate. Then for the MRMC approach, again there are 2 things. Maybe TR and TC are given, or maybe MR and MC are given. See, if TR and TC are given, then you first calculate MR and MC. You know MR is TR at n minus TR at n minus 1, and MC is TC at n minus TC at n minus 1. Okay, using these formulas you calculate marginal revenue and marginal cost. After that again you find the level of output where MR is equal to MC, right? Sometimes you again may come across a situation where MR and MC is equal at two levels. Say maybe at the fourth level of output also MR and MC are equal, say 7, and say at the seventh level also MR and MC are equal, that is 7. So in that particular case you apply the second condition, right? Then you apply the second condition and you will mention, you will see that after which level MC is rising, right? The second condition says what? That after the point of equilibrium marginal cost should be rising. Again you will get only one output after which the MC would be rising, say output 7. So when, and if you are asked this particular question in the numerical form, like suppose you have calculated through the MRMC approach and you get the output level as 7th level, then you will, after doing it, you will also mention that the producer will be at equilibrium when he produces 7 units of output, because at this output level MR is equal to MC is equal to 7, and after this MC is rising. Okay, then only you can get the full marks in the question. This has to be mentioned. रोक दे भाई.